Welcome back to more of the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. We mostly cleared out everything we can do in the Roland region last time. There's only one thing left to do here, and it requires turning in our first of 4 ZFGs, so sadly we're going to have to part with that and only have access to arts on 3 out of 4 characters from here on. And this is your first time being introduced to Joshua since he left. Yeah, it's really only been, like, in-universe about half a year since that happened. Something that's actually kind of interesting is that if you, like, based on certain NPC dialogue, it seems like the switch from year 202 to 203 of the calendar happens at some point during Chapter 4. And, well, at least Joshua doesn't get slapped this time. Well, we kinda do, and it's not good. So, probably several hours later... I'm sure most people weren't picturing something like that. Yeah, we need airships back in action, and that's not likely to happen anytime soon. So some of the dialogue here might change if Tita is in your party. I forget if she's the one who does it, if she is, but I'm guessing she is. And that's one more phone working again. That is 2 branches down. So right now you can only call Bose and the army. Oh, and also Grancel, because Grancel's had a ZFG delivered to them by Chloe. Oh boy, that's not going to end well at all. Shame Olivier isn't here to, well, have wacky hijinks involving that. Yeah, it is sad. Yeah, he's been gone for quite a while. Yeah, so this question right here is going to lead into something. So we've already taken care of most of the monsters, but there is one thing that we actually have to do now. Malgam Mine. This is actually one of the few quote-unquote hidden quests in this game that actually is alluded to in dialogue. They make it pretty clear that you should try and go to the mine because something might happen if you do. Oh yeah, that was ages ago. That was all the way back in early FC. Wow, it took them a very long time to get on that. They lost power to everything. Oh, okay, I guess we should go over and check out the farm. You don't really need to, but it's nice to to go ahead and check in. So this is what I was talking about earlier. If you want to swap out party members, you have to give up a ZFG to a Bracer Guild and have them call the other party members over. So as we're here, the mine thing is not actually listed there. It really is a hidden quest. But we can report in our monster exterminations. And B+ rank. So we get Strager B1. I'm sure Estelle is very happy. Yeah, you've got to keep your spirits up in dark times, and one of those is by indulging in your hobbies, and in Estelle's case, it is Strager's, although that does drop her ATS pretty considerably. Does have better defense, and it gives movement plus 10, which is kind of insane. That's definitely appreciated, even though there's a bit of a speed drop. It's definitely appreciated by physical attackers. With the Strager B1s, you can pretty much cover the entire battlefield with your movement, which can be useful sometimes. In fact, that might not be a bad idea on Tita, because yeah, I'm actually going to go ahead and swap out my party a little bit. So, as you give up your ZFGs, Zin and Agate become more and more useful because they don't really need them to function, and Shera will get less and less useful. Because of that, I want to continue to keep Shera along because let's use her while we still can. But I also want to use Tita while we still can because the lower we get on ZFGs, yeah, having to give up one just so that she can use her basic attacks is kind of restrictive. Also, she had one of my skull pendants, which was a bit of a problem for all those instant death using monster quests. But in order to give Tita a ZFG, somebody here has to give theirs up, and unfortunately that has to be Estelle, because Joshua and Shera are a lot better at arts. Long Barrel 3 plus the Strager B1 should give Tita a lot of coverage. And now I'm going to need to radically alter Estelle's augment so that, yeah, she's set up for less of a casting role. Like, I mean, EP Quartz are useless when you, can't use arts at all. Yeah, so Tita is the one to do it if she's in the party, which makes sense. I would always recommend upgrading slots to level 3 on Estelle and Joshua whenever possible, because we'll be using them for the rest of the game, and you definitely want them to have a full set of level 3 slots by the end. Well, I mean, we can at least kind of count on the army. Don't have that little faith in them. Hang on, why is Tita's health so low? Have I really not healed her since the Ren fight? Has she really not been healed since then, or did I use her at some point? I don't think I used her at some point during this chapter, that's weird. There is one situation the Emerald Gem is actually good in. If you're not equipping a ZFG, there's really no reason not to nerf your ATS stats, so yeah, massive arts defense, here we come. Okay, so here's my setup. I don't really care about the arts on Estelle since, well, she can't use them. But I have Petrify 2 on her because I want to use Strike 2 on Tita because of her restricted space slot. This is at least going to be kind of solid, and I tossed up giving her the Time Gem until I realized they would nerf her strength, and that would be really bad with Strike. So I've got her at these stats for now, even though her actual arts damage is going to be kind of bad. She's mostly here for Earth Wall. And so with all that done, it's off to the mine. And yet another person to introduce Joshua to. I actually came here for a different reason. Well, I mean, snagging their relationship is a bit of an understatement, considering Joshua decided to become a cold, unfeeling assassin going after Ouroboros. Not really. We still have serious things we need to do. Shara, I know that's a good point, but now is not the time to be drinking. Especially not with Tita around. So, they actually are alluding to something here, and this is actually kind of easy to miss. There's actually a new dish to buy here, Heavenly Tempura. Plus 10% speed and a very good amount of healing. It's actually a pretty decent item, but I'm going to eat one of them to get the recipe. There are actually quite a few recipes still to get in this chapter. You might remember that we ended Chapter 7 with, well, technically Chapter 6 because there were no recipes in Chapter 7, with exactly 10 recipes left to go. So as of this chapter, we've now obtained the Aurora Ball and the Heavenly Tempura. But now I'll see you at the mine. So here we are in the Malga mine. You might notice that we're, seem to be using some kind of torch here. Everything is all dark. Nothing over there. So something interesting is if you try and come here before turning the ZFG, this minecart will be over here and blocking the path. I guess they must have pushed it manually. What's wrong? It probably has something to do with that elevator being stuck in the upright position. Yeah, way back. And yes, you still owe us. However, now is not the time to think about that, because you're about to owe us even more. Oh wow, everyone else is stuck down there? Was that really a good idea? You could have easily brought the whole place down. And again, yeah, that wouldn't stop digging monsters. Oh, he's here. My guess is he's trapped too. This place is totally dependent on orbital power. There's no secondary shaft that doesn't require the elevator. We could try digging down there with a shovel, but that would take years. So there might actually be something we can do. We've kind of done something similar to this earlier. This might operate on the same principle. I'm guessing he's like, I have no idea what that means. I'll just say, yeah, sure it is. Yeah, you clearly have no idea who she is. She is one of the best mechanics in this country. There are only 12. So we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did with the orbital tuning equipment at the factories. Provided the drive mechanism is small enough. And the good news is that we can detach the ZFG once we're done with it, so we don't have to give up one of ours to get in here. I'm pretty sure there is unique dialogue for bringing Tita here. I think Joshua is the one to suggest this if you don't bring her. Well, we'd better jump on, because who knows how long it'll be going for. I like how fast that dialogue is. Speaking of things that I like... yeah, just because the elevator is working doesn't mean that it's working well. I love how this kind of jury-rigged solution means the elevator just goes like dong, 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 dong. Just slowly down like that, and like that must have been, yeah. That must have been a horrible ride, but at least we're down here. I think that's your indication to move. It's Revenge of the Murder Crabs! Well, yeah, they do tend to be pretty resilient to physical attacks. And so, it's basically a redux of that mission from early in FC. We have the killer crabs again, though they're not all that strong and they die pretty quickly to arts. So, most people that I see playing this game, they do this when they only have one ZFG left, which I personally find to be kind of hellish, so I'm sort of glad that I'm coming here with more ZFGs. And let's see how this goes. No damage, but at least it blinds them. And Mass Blind might be very useful at a time like this. Let's be a little conservative with the EP here, especially since the orbital charging station that we relied on back in FC is obviously not operational anymore. So all we have to use is our EP charges. Yeah, so these things are an annoying combination of virtually immune to physical attacks and are very weak to arts at a time when your arts uses are limited. So this is part of why I'm going to roll it first, because this quest is actually pretty tough if you only have one ZFG. Which is when the best walkthrough that I can find on this game does this, so yeah. Probably? I'm guessing there's way more where those came from. Oh right, you're the miner who likes eating. Right now though, we can't really use the elevator until everyone is gathered in one place. Oh yeah, you don't know about that. In fact, you probably haven't been up on the surface in a while. This actually reminds me a little bit of something that really happened in Australia, where 2 miners got stuck in a mine for days. But then to get them out safely. Oh yeah, Ridge. Let's just hope Ridge is okay. Oh no, that statement rarely ends well. Ridge is definitely in trouble. But Shera's like, yeah, let's just leave him alone. Let's save the miners first. I mean, I suppose Ridge is the one with combat training and the miners aren't, so I guess those are the priorities that you have to take right now. Oh yeah, I'm sure the boss is going to look very favorably on you for abandoning him. 4 others plus you. That's 5. I think that's actually the amount of miners that we had to save last time. And so it's time for Saving the Miners Take 2. Yeah, it really is basically a sequel to that one quest from FC, one of our very first jobs as a bracer, so it's a really nice case of coming full circle. Well, there's 2 out of the 5. Well, I mean, the bracers mostly did it. But Pierre is the same as always. Hi there. I did not see that crab. But let's rescue these 2 first. Don't you recognize the faces of the 2 people who saved you last time? Also, you'd think they'd recognize Shera because she's been one of the senior bracers operating this region for quite a while. And so, more crabs. Let's just, yeah, I put some Earth Elemental Quartz on Joshua. 1 for Earth Wall, and 2 because I wanted to give him some cheaper all-targeting attacks. Also, yep, we have some miners to guard. Just like back in FC. Oh, yeah, crit all 3 of them and did nothing because, yeah. Her attack stat is kind of low for this point in the game. Rare footage of a Joshua level up this late into the game. Don't worry, very soon we'll be approaching the point where Joshua will be getting normal experience from enemies. In fact, I think it's right about now. Just make sure you don't trip on a crab on the way through. If the lights on their helmets are orbally powered, it means they don't even have any light either. Okay, so we've got through that branch. But it seems like more miners are down here. In fact, that looks like the boss. So that's 3 of them. I would say 3 of them save, but the boss isn't quite saved yet. Yeah, you didn't quite think that plan through, did you? Oh, don't say that yet. It is a moment where you realize that, you know, talking to the NPCs and taking the time to learn their names, it makes moments like this impact a lot more, because we actually have met his wife and daughter. So, I have got rid of the, oh no, please don't. Please don't. Please don't move forward and attack him and cause me to immediately lose before I get a turn. Okay, yeah, that easily could have happened if I got unlucky, but yeah, I have switched the defense forequart off of Tita, so let's see if that means... Yeah, I guess I can go for Titanic Raw for cheaper all-targeting damage. Let's see if that causes her to not do pathetic damage. No, her damage is still pathetic, so I'm going to go back to defense 4 just so that she has Earth Wall, which I will be needing very much soon. They're certainly giving us a lot of Seepeth here. Kind of makes sense given this is a mine. And the justified in-universe reason for monsters dropping Seepeth is they eat it, so... You'd think that monsters in a Seepeth mine would eat a lot of the stuff. Yeah, not to take away from the fact we've rescued this guy, but it is kind of a shame Tita's damage is, like, non-existent right now. I do think that her blinding capabilities are going to be useful coming up, though. Well, sort of. I mean, Cassius sure learned it. But, I mean, Cassius is Cassius. He kind of has an inbuilt sense of the heroic intervention timing. That's kind of true, actually. So that'll be 3. Once we have all of them gathered, then we can use the ZFG on the elevator and get you all out at once. Sadly not yet. No trace of him at all. Okay, that is basically where the big nest of monsters was last we were here. So, before that though, we have one more person to save. And we haven't taken this branch of the tunnel yet. Don't worry, we're on the case. Hey, somebody actually remembers us! Finally. Okay, this could be bad. I sort of want to save my CP for a bit later, so I'm gonna go straight for this right now. I am tempted to do this just to see if I can petrify a few of them. Well, I got 2. Are you... so, yeah, I said the last time NPCs would be horrible was, wow, when was it? That was ages ago that I said that, but, this is still... This is still pretty bad on hard mode. Again, it's just a matter of NPC stats not scaling to the difficulty. But, this is, for real, the last time NPCs will be horrible. Like, absolutely, I promise this time, this is definitely the last time NPCs will be awful in this game. Oh, can't even get Tyrell in first, so this is basically down to luck now. And my luck failed. Okay, they wasted their turns calling allies. It is kind of sad that, again, we're seeing some just bad NPC situations on hard mode. It's just because they don't scale the NPC stats for the difficulty. But this is, trust me, the last time NPCs will be horrible in this whole game. Oh yeah, you actually were, twice. Definitely because, the stupid NPCs, I forgot about that, yeah. It is definitely one of the flaws of this game, but hard mode didn't exist in the original release, I kind of blame it on that. They really should have playtested the NPC escorts on hard mode, I don't think they really did. But hey, we're actually seniors now. Just like Shara. It is kind of weird that none of these people really acknowledge Shara. Even if she's actually here, they still just make offhand mentions towards her. Because you'd think that most of them would know her. I mean, some of them probably go drinking with her. Yes, that thing actually works now. Well, it will once we get back there. But that's 4 out of 4 miners. Now all we need is to save Ridge. If he even can be saved. So, the construction site. Basically the northernmost part of the mine. Back up through here. And there's another one of those crabs. Okay, it is around here. Yeah, see that big cloud of smoke in the corner of the screen? That's where it is. But before you go there, you want to make sure that you are fully healed and very, very prepared. Because this fight, I'm actually kind of scared of this fight. Because I don't really remember having much trouble with it on my first playthrough, which was on hard mode. But when I played my practice run of this just before I started recording, which was on normal, this fight completely annihilated me. I was really not prepared for it. And I had 3 ZFGs for it. I only had 1 on my first playthrough. So I can't believe I'd completely forgotten this fight. It's really strange. But yeah, Joshua is kind of warning you about this. We're gonna have a boss battle on our hands. We're finally gonna see what's beyond that huge cave they tried to seal off. So that is a lot of killer crabs. It's a shame they're not called murder crabs for this part. I still love that name. Yes, please get out of here so that you won't be an NPC that we have to protect. They don't just what? Yeah, it's not just crabs, they have whatever in the name of Gehenna this is. I guess this is the source behind all of those crab attacks at the beginning of FC. Finally get to confront it. This is the Ovid Hydra, which is a pretty cool name. Feasts on foes CP and EP. Wields scissor blades. So, first things first, clock down right now. Okay, I think Estelle's the only person in range of that. I don't really care about getting clocked down on the crabs themselves, because they're all going to die to our first death scream. Let's morale everyone. In fact, taunt might not be a terrible idea here either. Though I feel like this thing might be immune to it. Okay, just moving slowly forward. That's relatively fine. Okay, I'm gonna need to focus on buffing and debuffing here. So, as much as I would like Shera to take out all of the crabs, if I blind them with Tita, they're not going to be a threat anyway, so I would rather have you use your turn to go for Clock Up EX on, I think I'll go for it on Joshua. And like I said, if I blind them with Tita, so Smoke Cannon, I can get the big guy, but I'm guessing like 9 out of 10 shot that it's, yep, it's immune to blind. And the strength buff definitely makes a big difference on Tita though, which is pretty cool. So yeah, getting morale off is nice, and Clock Up EX. I also find that you get a lot of turn bonuses in this fight. Okay, now we have a 10% strength turn. I'm very tempted to have Tita use it for her S-Craft, but that could also be not exactly the best thing in the world. It's only a 10% strength. Should I do this, or... should I save it for later, or... Actually, she has a 20% chance of a crit on it anyway, thanks to her, Yeah, what the heck, I'm gonna summon a satellite beam underground, somehow. Well, I guess this will blow a new exit to the mine. I guess, if they ever need a secondary non-orbital escape route, this is gonna blow a hole through the ceiling so they can use this in the future. And yeah, the Ovid Hydra has a lot of HP. Yeah, and that's not quite an attack that reaches the length of the entire field, but it's definitely up there. Okay, getting Clock Up EX as well. Earthshaker, yeah, that is just like the Abyss Worms. Except way more painful, so Tita's gonna need to heal quite a lot in this fight. Okay, yeah, speaking of... Let's Clock Up EX Estelle, and Estelle can't really do that at all, so let's have her, Yeah, I can get you with True Comet at least. Unfortunately, the big guy is, well, I mean, obviously he's immune to Petrify, I mean, he's a boss, but... Okay, that's going on Tita, because I'm going to need to have her heal. And I hate to give up the 50% strength turn, but I really, really need to Heaven's Kiss right now, because Tita is going to need to use Vital Cannon here. I forgot how hard Earthshaker hit. Okay, we're down to just the big guy. So from here, Orbital Down is only on Shera. So from here, Joshua, everyone is buffed. Let's go for, actually, Earth Wall. And Tita now doesn't need to use Earth Wall, so she can afford to Vital Cannon. Yeah, this thing's gonna keep summoning these crabs, by the way. And Stone Toss is unfortunately an AoE attack, so it's gonna consume our Earth Walls. I think, yeah, I'd rather have Tita use that at this point, so let's just go for... I guess I can Cyclone Napalm this thing. Estelle's main role here is just keep the morale going. And maybe once this thing gets a little closer, I can go for some chain crafts. Okay, yeah, you are the one who's going to go ahead, and I switched out so you don't have Earth Wall anymore. Well, that was not good. In that case, I guess we can Blue Impact you. Not a lot of damage, but it's better than nothing. You have, yes, you have Orbital Down. Let's go for Orbital Down. Anything to increase our damage. Because this thing hits so hard, it's basically just a kill it before it kills you situation. Also, Mute affected the crab, but I mean, Yeah, that's not exactly, gonna help us that much. Oh no, the crab with no orbital capabilities whatsoever is incapable of using orbital arts. Whatever shall we do? Can I actually chain 3 here? No, it's too far out of range. At least it still has some form of non-arts range capability. That's actually pretty nice. Do I take this with... I think Joshua will actually do... yeah, let's go for it. Yeah, that's a solid hit of damage on the boss, so kind of glad I did that. Okay, Tita, okay, you can't even Vital Cannon anyway, so let's just go for a Blue Impact, and Shara has got Orbital Down off. Now I can just go for... Okay, Abyss Fall is technically one of the strongest attacks I have at this point in the game. It's a bit inefficient cost-wise and casting time-wise for a single target. Does look pretty cool, though. This is actually something that I spammed a lot in my first playthrough because I thought it was stronger than Get Scream. I don't think it actually is, but against a single target, it is cheaper in terms of EP. Okay, that is actually a pretty big increase in Tita's damage thanks to the Orbital Down. Uh-oh, here's a Stone Toss, and we're all blocking it, which is good. Okay, I don't want Estelle to get too far away from the rest of us just in case I need to set up the strength buff again, because Tita is virtually useless without it, although she can still keep using Blue Impacts. You'll just, I guess I can Blue Ascension. Okay, that's a little bit more damage, I think, for cheaper, so let's continue to stick with Blue Ascension instead of Abyss Fall. Abyss Fall's pretty cool looking, though, and it can inflict Feint. So yeah, here you see... Oh boy, that's not good. I might actually want to... I can actually use the Aurora Ball. Not a lot of damage, though, and yeah, 100% chance of any ailment my butt. Like I said earlier, if it randomly picks an ailment that the enemy is immune to, it won't do anything, so it's not really a 100% chance. But yeah, the power of having clock up on everyone and clock down on the enemy, like look at all the turns we're getting on this thing. Especially with all of our speed boosting items, like the orbs that we got from the towers. So yeah, if you're decently prepared, this fight isn't that bad, but if you're not, it will kind of destroy you. In fact, this thing hasn't even done the main, like, dangerous thing that it can do yet, so let's see if it does do that. Nope, it's just summoning more things, but Call Allies has very low cooldown, so chances are it might try that thing later. Oh, there we go, Grand Flash. Okay. So, I believe that, I'm forgetting something what that does. I know this thing has an attack that drains all of your CP and EP. Which, considering at this point, Art's our main form of damage, that is really, really, really terrible. I guess I can try and go for a knockout meatball. Okay, those are some weird hitboxes. You'd think I'd be able to hit the crab and the big guy at the same time, but no, apparently. I'm going to show some restraint here. I don't want to take that 50% strength turn with anything, because I would rather cast arts here. Okay, you're, not doing anything there. Can I use... Okay, good, I can use Comet. And, okay, that hits the crab! And the thing. Somehow! Yeah, hitboxes, what are they? Yeah, I've said before that line-based AoEs are a lot better in Cold Steel. It seems like the hitboxes are way more... I mean, I guess the hitbox there was lenient, but yeah, it's a lot easier to aim them because the game's in full 3D and not restricted to a grid-based aiming system. Almost down. We might be able to finish this with Judgment Card. Not sure. I think I'll wait a little bit just to see exactly how much we have left. Oh, here we go. Assuming a threatening posture. Okay, here is the attack that drains all of your EP and CP. So, I kind of want to leave this thing alive long enough for me to actually show that, because it does look pretty cool. Yeah, I sort of want to see it do that, and then I'm going to S-Break. Yeah, that does absurdly high amounts of damage. And now, prepare to be judged by the bracer in charge of this region. The Happy Snowman Arcana! I'm sorry, that just... I don't know, it's just something silly that I like to do. And there it goes.
Oh, are we done already?
I might want to show bonus footage of, like, the attack that drains all of your EP and CP, because I didn't expect that on my first playthrough. Also, that is one heck of a, monster carapace we must have got.
We're good to go.
But yeah, that thing caught me off guard when I was doing my practice run, and I'd totally forgotten about this fight. Losing all of your EP and CP really cripples you, as you might expect. Yeah, if you think, like, okay, I made that look kind of easy because I was over-prepared and I had a lot of casters with buffs. Now, imagine doing that fight with only one ZFG, which is entirely possible, depending on how you plan out your route for this chapter. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of freedom in how you handle Chapter 8, and depending on how you do so, later parts can get easier or harder. This fight in particular is pretty brutal with only one ZFG, as you can probably tell. Well, I mean, the monster attack should probably stop coming now. We've taken out the source. So, I hope everyone's ready to lose their lunches, because they're about to go up the rickety elevator of doom. Oh, I just... Ridge is probably injured as well, so that must have been really painful for him. Thankfully, you do get warped directly back to town. One thing that does make Chapter 8 pretty annoying is there's no real fast travel system, so... yeah, you really could have used fast travel in a chapter that requires you to go all over the world and revisit so many past areas. But back in these days, like, this is a 2004-2005 game, so... also, yeah, gee, thanks. I'm just saying that fast travel was not really that established in RPGs back then, I'm guessing. I know that Cold Steel has fast travel. I'm not sure if Crossbell does. I want to say that it does, but I could be wrong about that. Yeah, Estelle is still kind of oblivious. There's actually something kind of, I don't know, I find a little interesting about Estelle that I may want to talk about a bit later, but, this part's already gone on for a while, so I may as well talk about that later on. Yep, thanks for the vote of confidence there, everyone. You know, that is actually true, though. I mean, this isn't like, you know, Persona, where you actually get a physical indication of yourself changing with, you know, the manifestation of your psyche literally evolving into something else. But hey, we did do a good job. And she's going to address everyone in our party individually. Yeah, thank goodness Olivier isn't here, otherwise she'd be forced to compliment him. That wouldn't end well. Yeah, Tina's technically below the age requirement, but she's pretty much an honorary bracer now. Oh boy, yeah, that's, again, not going to end well at all. A little bit of extra dialogue that you probably only get if you brought Shara here, which is pretty nice. True. I mean, yeah, you gotta still provide for people. I mean, the Septium trade is kind of the main form of currency, and that's gotta keep going at a time like this. Not to mention clearing up all of the mess. Well, good to know that if we want to, I was about to say pay our respects, but that makes it sound like he died. If we want to see how he's going, we know where to find him. Yeah, Ridge needs, like, the biggest bonus of the century for that. And he probably needs a lot of free time off. Well, we may as well take the payoff right now. 8 BP and 10,000 Mira. We are quickly approaching the maximum BP. Oh, hi there, army ship that seems to have crash-landed here. Forgot about that. I just thought that we'd go here and say hi, and it seems like there's an army patrol here already. I suppose food production in farms that don't require orbital power is very important at a time like this, so it makes sense they want to guard this place. I just came here to say hi to Tio and see how she is doing. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Joshua's already had more than enough slaps to make up for it, though. Well, sort of. We're actually more here just to say hi, because we've finished most of our work. We'll be sure to do that. I feel like Tita might like it here too. And with that, let's go ahead and end things here. We've done everything we can in the Roland region. Next up on our agenda, we'll be heading down to Grand Cell and seeing how the situation is unfolding over in the Royal City. See you all then.